Welcome to Watch Rewatch, the podcast that examines the art of the rewatch. I'm Sean.
I'm John.
And we're back after a small 1-week break that was mandated to us by the studios. They said, all the studios, they came together and they said, we're part of a history, a tapestry being woven by David Fincher, and you must watch Mank. So John and I took a week off and we watched Mank. And we're here.
We streamed Mank.
Streamed
Netflix.
Mank.
It's a Netflix picture.
It's a Netflix original.
Which is odd, right? Because they're making a movie about all these studios that don't exist anymore, like RKO, and MGM is barely alive.
Yep. And it's being made by the person holding the gun to the head of the last remaining studios. Which
this guy who loves to shoot with digital.
Yeah, David Fincher, known for his love of digital, an early adopter. He started shooting digital when he was doing commercials first, using the Viper film stream, which was a very early digital camera.
Is that what Robert Rodriguez was championing all the time?
Yes, I think he used the film stream, but I think he was more on the FB19, which is a Sony camera. Okay. That was the one he was about. The same one that George Lucas used to shoot Attack of the Clones. That was the big thing. Yes. And but yeah, with the progress, Fincher, it's so strange. So I guess let's dive right into it.
Right. Well, we were talking about Mank, this Netflix movie that is homework in a way.
So spoiler alert, folks. Spoiler alert. We're going to talk about Mank. However, this is a biographical not biographical. So yeah, it's kind of a biographical picture about Herman Mankiewicz, who wrote. It's not even biographical because it doesn't really cover his. It's not a biopic, but it's
not a movie that's going to get high school kids excited. It's not like a popcorn movie. It's not an Adam Sandler movie.
It's not, but it's a slice of time, and it's interesting. This whole movie. So I watched Mank today. I'm fresh off of a watch.
It premiered. Streamed. A stream premiered.
It stream premiered last Friday. And if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. It really, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about it. I have to say, I was a little hesitant, just because, I don't know, Fincher can go in these weird directions, but this ended up being one that I loved. It had, I don't know, I'm curious to know what your take was.
You loved it, okay.
I loved it. It for me, it hit all the right points that he kind of hit on The Social Network. It reflects a lot of his obsessions about motivated and driven and damaged people. Like, Fincher has this thing that he's been exploring in certain films. This one especially, though, kind of mirroring a lot of his own experiences with the studios. I feel like there's a lot of vitriol and a little bit of spice in there that's informed by his experience. You know?
I agree. It's written by his father, which I felt was hanging over the whole movie the entire time, because these are the words written by his father, who's no longer with us. So I was like, oh, this guy just treats every word like it's poetry, and it's kind of delivered in that Aaron Sorkin way. A lot of hallway walking and talking, which I felt like he stole from Aaron Sorkin. Yeah, but
some snappy bits, and it walks. Some snappy bits. It walks in an interesting way where it does. It does some of the more obscure or modernist style Fincher things occasionally, and then it also does much more kind of clippy music video style Fincher, like Fight Club montage, snappy, tightly done pieces.
The audio was quite nice. I like it sounded like they were all being recorded on a set in a cavernous echoous set. Like the sound design was intentional to make it sound like a certain kind of movie from back in the day.
Well, that was another thing that kind of blew me away was watching the movie and seeing how it really, like, it walked a line between traditional, like really emulating the way things were done then with the sound. They do what sounds like a mono mix. It may be an actual mono mix, not a stereo mix. I didn't hear much stereo separation at all when I watched it. But same thing with the visuals. They shot it all digitally, but did a lot of things. They added grain. They added all sorts of effects, like the kind of the There's some digital work being done on the skies that give it the look of like the older film stocks that would render skies, like with the red filters and such. All of this stuff being done, but at the same time being filmed very, very, very in a very modern way with the hyper precise Fincher camera movement, his use of wide angle or like compositional, like tableau style photography, which is not how they did it at all really back then. Although I didn't see that much like riffing on. I mean, I haven't seen Citizen Kane for one, which is kind of has deep focus, but that's a whole other story. And you actually don't need to see it to see this movie at all. It's not about Citizen Kane. It's about.
Yeah, I didn't. This movie was just fun homework in a way.
Yeah.
It reminded me of these. It's awards pictures. It's a bait picture. It's like, oh, it's for the prestige. It's for the awards. They're making a movie about fucking Citizen Kane. I mean, that's like that artist movie, that movie, The Artist, that black and white silent picture, and same with that La La Land. These movies that are about a certain era, and like these films are for people who like want to honor their film professors, not for like regular audiences.
Yeah, and I that was my fear going into this, but I found it had a lot of the momentum, the sense of forward momentum that you found in The Social Network. This kind of he has this uncanny ability to really propel you forward in a way that is hyper captivating. He's good at holding your attention, and I found, despite my concerns about it being an eat your vegetables movie, like you're saying, something that plays to the film theory crowd and all that, it still was a proper movie, and I was impressed by that. It didn't feel too much like homework, and it litters all of these names and all these things. And some context is good. Like I happened to immediately go like, it's William Randolph Hearst I didn't know the story, but I was like, it must be him, Hearst Castle. I'm familiar with some of these, like power players from that era, mostly because of just, like I was going to go on a trip and visit Hearst Castle. So I kind of had looked it up before. So I was peripherally familiar with some of this stuff, but like, the studio executives, you may be better with the names. So it was L.B. Mayer, right? Louis.
Yeah, Louis B. Mayer running his MGM there.
Louis B. Mayer.
Gotcha, Mishpuka. Mayer's family.
Mayer's
you have a problem, come to Papa.
I don't know who that actor
Arliss
is.
Howard. I don't know if
Arliss
he's
Howard.
Deborah Winger, but he is the English nephew or grandson of Hammond in The Lost World.
Okay, so he's also. There are so many English actors.
He's not English though. I think he's from the South. I think,
okay.
Yeah.
But he was perfectly cast as this guy.
Mayor.
Oh man.
Mayer. Yeah.
Well, he's. Sorry, go ahead.
In Mommy Dearest, there's Louis B. Mayer is also in that movie, the character, but he fires Joan Crawford.
Is he portrayed the same way as kind of this?
Yeah.
Shrewd...
Well, yeah, he's the boss.
Yeah.
And he's the boss in this one. I loved him in this one. No, I've rewatched scenes. I watched Mank a week ago, and I must have watched it like 4 or 5 times in my constant rewatching. I've rewatched the organ grinder monkey scene more times than I can tell you. Any other scene. But the one thing I keep coming back to is that this movie is very pretentious. No way around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun, and there's nothing wrong with pretentious. It's like what did Time Magazine say about The Social Network? The movie The Social Network gives you an IQ high. It's like IQ high for high IQ people, something like that. And like I'm not, trying to say I'm, Coco the gorilla or anything.
But look, I mean, we have no shortage. We feed at the trough of stupid popular culture every day. We have the Mandalorian. We have all of these new Disney properties and Marvel properties that were just announced in their fucking earnings call that everybody's crying about on their everybody's becoming a cry boy on their goddamn YouTube channel about this. That's great,
Yeah.
There's a place for that, but it's nice to have things for the adults a little bit that we can be pretentious about. It's nice to have something that respects your intelligence and allows you to kind of not get everything on the first go. You have to strain to pay attention to all of the names and tidbits, especially with the mono mix. All that that there's something to be said for that.
We can Mank, yeah. Did you see the poster for Mank? Also, it's a great movie because they say the name of the movie 1,000,000 times in that movie.
1,000,000 times. It's kind of a cheat, though. I think with the name, I think it's a cheat.
I love Charles Dance. I would love for him to get an Oscar. And like, in fact, there's no other better movie released this year. So this is clearly the best movie of the year, outside of that awful Tenet. And that movie was more pretentious than Tenet. Mank is more pretentious than Tenet, but yet I want to watch more Mank.
I mean, Mank is a much more entertaining movie than Tenet could ever be, because it's pretentious in a way that's thrilling. Like you said, there's a thrill to seeing smart people engage snappy dialogue. It's why Aaron Sorkin can be such a revelation in the right hands. Why it works.
And he had that liberal movie we didn't watch, or I watched it. Did you watch it?
No, his big liberal movie. Yeah,
yeah. It's like it's Aaron Sorkin's The Liberals. No, what's called the Chicago something or other.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's a message.
The other Borat movie.
Right. Well, it's a liberal message movie made by a big L liberal, like something that's trying to be woke, but it's made by a guy that for sure, like, yeah.
Family Guy last week, ergo Seth MacFarlane. There was a bit in the end credits, because I forget what the episode was about, like all of them, but the joke was, in every message movie, Green Book or any other kind of message movie, why is it always the Republican has to take on the liberal-leaning side, but you've never seen a movie where a liberal will take on a Republican-leaning side by the end of the movie?
By the end of the movie, I'm not entirely sure. I guess maybe it's because liberals control Hollywood. That would be my.
That's what I was thinking too.
That's my guess. But there is something to be said for like the irony of a movie about the trial. The Yell mentions the trial of the Chicago 7 being made by a notoriously not super PC guy. Like he's a liberal. He's like a Bill Maher liberal, right? The kind of liberal that like the woke crowd I don't think really loves anymore. So it's weird seeing him being handed all this power to make a movie that like isn't the trial of the Chicago 7 largely about like an African American experience, but it's being directed by this like big white director. I don't know. It seems weird. Seems like a weird choice, but it also seems perfectly Hollywood. And there's a cynicism lacking from that there is in Mank, and that's what I love, is that there's a cynicism about Hollywood and Hollywood's intentions and the experience of making movies. That's real. I know.
My favorite line from that movie is from Louis B. Mayer, and he says that this is a business where the buyer gets nothing for his money except a memory. Everything he bought still belongs to the man who sold it to him. That's the magic of the movies, and don't ever forget it.
It is one of the most beautiful.
It was so cynical. It was like everything what he bought still belongs to the man who sold it to him, and nothing but a memory. He spent all that money for nothing but a memory.
Yeah. No, it captures a lot of truth about the film business. But is fun while doing it. It's cynical, but it's not unfun. It's really being cynical is fun. It's if it's done right. And Fincher is the kind of guy that understands that. And I saw a title of an interview with I'm forgetting her name, the British actress who plays his kind of caretaker, one of the two. She's a model actress.
Lily,
yes, Lily something or other. There's a title to an article saying that like she finds out David Fincher is funny. I think anybody who's seen his work knows he actually does have quite a good sense of humor, but it's a dark one, and this movie's littered with that. And I think I would imagine a lot of it is from his father. Seeing the way the dialogue's written, it's a funny movie. I laughed quite a few times. Gary Oldman has so many great, weird, strange deliveries. It's a fantastic performance. He's really one of these people that gets a lot of credit, and sometimes I roll my eyes and I'm like, all right, he put on all the weight, but he's great. He's great. I mean, he's undeniably great. I mean, how did you find it?
It's hard because the Fincher method. Oh shit! There I go.
There you go. You're back.
It sucks because the Fincher method is that he tortures these actors for 100 takes at a time, even if it's just like an insert, right? So I just can't help but like feel bad for the actor in some of these like big acting scenes.
But I honestly don't. I wouldn't put that as any kind of torture. I think it's that he has a particular method in getting what he wants, because he said it before, and you do see it on I for people who don't know, I also work in movies. You see that like the more you do something, there's a pretense, or actors can come in with their ideas of how a thing's done, but especially when you do like more than 10 takes. If the director's looking for something really specific, and in Fincher's case, it can be hundreds of takes, and he said this in interviews, by the 40th or 50th take, like those pretenses are long gone, and there's something else happening. And I think that's a valid way of, I would hope that there's not a billion people who emulate.
Really, don't knock it till you try it.
Well, no, and I hope there's not a billion people who are emulating the Fincher thing and being like, well, I'm going to do that. It's specific to how he works, and he's like one of a kind. But
Gary Oldman plays a particular kind of drunk in that movie. To act drunk, unless it's like Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa. I know in 1 he was drunk. I don't know if he was drunk on 2. He should have been.
Yeah,
but on Oldman.
Well, go ahead.
Well, just all these different drunk scenes of Oldman, the slurriness, and that's real acting for you.
Well, and there's a lot of different types of drunk he is throughout the movie. It's not like there's not one speed to it, and it's sometimes funny, but there are times where the whole ending sequence of the film where they really illustrate how sad it is.
But and that was a dry house. Hearst ran a dry house.
Yeah, it was a dry house that he was, his convalescent home he was in while he wrote the script for Citizen Kane. And it's interesting seeing the kind of the focus. There is a kind of laser focus on authorship and ownership in film, and I can't help but shake Fincher's own experience with that with Alien 3, I think, was his big one. But he's had that issue over time, and he's mentioned in interviews that he did want to do this film. Like, his father passed in 2003, and he wanted to make it around that time, but the studios, like, at that point it was going to go through studios, and they didn't want it to be black and white, and he was insistent on being black and white, all of this stuff. So again, still more examples of him running up against the same walls that the characters in the film, these real people, ran up against in terms of how Hollywood decides authorship and gives notes, and even just the focus. There's a lot of lines about how Orson would take no notes on Citizen Kane and would have full control. He's obsessed with these themes that keep coming back over and over: control and power. And you see it in Zodiac, you see it in The Social Network, you see it in Fight Club, The Game. Almost all of his films have this kind of hyper focus on control and power, and I don't know how to articulate it more than that. Like, it's his obsessions he wears on his sleeve as a filmmaker, and somehow it doesn't get tiring. I don't get tired of it. It's
always a daunting challenge to take on one of his movies at first, and then afterward you have the repeat value. Are you going to rewatch this movie?
I think I might. There's enough in it, and
few sequences. The ending with Charles Dance is definitely replay value.
Yeah.
The score by Trent Reznor and the other guy.
Oh, it's fantastic. And surprising to see Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross do a period-specific score. But just like the cinematography and the sound design, it's not exactly one for one like as they would have done it in the 30s. It's a kind of modern imagining of that kind of score, in the same way that cinematography is a modern there's a term for that when you kind of re-ingest the ingredients that were used to make a thing and kind of repurpose it in a way that looks the way it was, but it has a framing from now. I don't know. It's crazy. It's just like it's nice to have a movie that has this much meat on its bones in a sea of stuff that's pretty
well, especially in 2020, the 2020 movie year has been quite awful. We missed out on a Wes Anderson this year. We missed out on a Spielberg. We would have had Spielberg's West Side Story.
Oh yeah, right.
This year.
Yeah.
We would have had Janusz shooting the hell out of that thing.
Yeah. Smoke, backlights, Janusz. God bless.
There are more,
Janusz.
but I'm just saying that we could have had the Wes Anderson movie this year. That could have been my favorite movie instead of this Mank.
Yeah, no, I
did watch a lesbian Christmas movie that came out this year.
Oh yeah, what was it?
I don't know if you heard of this lesbian Christmas movie. It's like got Kristen Stewart and Mackenzie Davis and.
Oh, I did. Yes,
Anne Levy's in it.
Okay, I heard. Is this the Hallmark movie or no?
It's not a Hallmark movie. It's a holiday movie.
It's a holiday movie.
It's like E1 and somebody else. Lionsgate, maybe.
How was it? Was it good? Mackenzie Davis is good, or was it too generic?
It's a Christmas movie, but it takes the themes of being like closeted and the themes of a stressful family Christmas and puts it all together.
Mm-hmm. But it's still kind of like whatever, or is it?
It's a tier above whatever because it's no Christmas with the Cranks, which is terrible, but it's no Family Stone, which is good.
Right. Okay. But I think that there's something about progress, right? Where it's nice that everybody gets to have a mediocre movie now. Well, it's not just stupid white bros. It's like everybody can have a mediocre movie. That's progress, man.
It's like, directed by Clea Duvall. I don't know if you know who she is.
Clea Duvall. The name sounds very familiar.
She was in Robert Rodriguez's The Faculty. I don't know if you've ever saw that movie, The Faculty.
The teachers and it. Teachers, yeah. So it's pretty good. That one.
You did watch that?
Yeah, I thought it was decent. Like it was a good.
It's written by the guy who did Scream, and it's directed by Robert Rodriguez. But you got Elijah Wood, Josh Hartnett. I think Jordana Brewster's in that. Yeah. And there's like a mousy girl. That's the director of this show or this movie. Mm-hmm. She's in a bunch of other things, and she's out. She's a lesbian.
Right.
And she co-wrote this Christmas movie about a lesbian couple going to someone's house, one of their families, for Christmas. And literally on the way there, she says, "Oh, by the way, I'm still in the closet, and you're going to be my roommate, not my girlfriend." So they both go back in the closet to meet this Republican family whose father, patriarch, was going to be running for mayor, and everything has to be perfect. And it's, obviously secrets come out and this shit. And it's just, there's literally a scene with her hiding in a closet. And then she gets found out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's surprising how well that fits onto the exact same framing that every holiday movie does, which is the hijinks. Something is hidden at the family dinner that comes out. It's the same thing. So, hey, look, everybody gets a shot now. That's kind of nice. That's progress. We can all have a bad movie. We can all have a bad movie. Yeah.
At least it wasn't directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, that would be a would that be? That'd be a mistake, I think.
And I feel bad that I'm never going to call. I think it's called "'Tis the Season" or "This Season." I think that's what the movie is called, but I'm just calling it the lesbian Christmas movie.
I mean, that would be amazing if that was the actual title. I would really love that would be the case, but it's not. Antonio's just jumping in the comments, circling back on. Do you have the comments up? Do you see them?
No, I've just been talking to you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's fun. Pull up the comments when you have a minute.
There they are. Oh, wow.
So, Antonio was asking about our liberal movie, the side. Which side do you go to? Red Dawn, liberals come to the conservative side when the Soviets invade. I wonder if that's... I can't remember exactly, but it certainly... That movie doesn't have... Yeah, that's not a real liberal movie. That's got a different bent to it. Although, liberal Hollywood is not really liberal. At all. It's just, it's big capitalism, liberalism, whatever that is, huge corporate capitalism, liberalism.
Those are ideas too big for my brain.
My brain's too small for all ideas, especially this week. My brain's fried. I'm brain fried. Red
That's
Scorpion.
What we're watching stuff to melt away to.
Yeah, well, then to talk about things that people actually watch, I caught up completely on The Mandalorian. All of it. I was on season.
Oh my God!
I got my giant
Watch our
water
comments
bottle.
Explode at the seams.
Mandalorian. Oh well, I will. Now that I'm caught up, even though I said it can't be spoiled, I do care about the people who watch this show. Spoiler alert: we're going to talk about The Mandalorian, and we're caught up. So if you haven't seen this week's episode, peace out. But I think everybody has.
Seen this week's episode.
Well, I know you don't care. It's Star Wars. But The Mandalorian.
Last week Rosario Dawson?
Yes.
2 weeks ago?
It was a couple weeks. So I was all the way back in season 1. I hadn't finished it. I finished it. I binged all the episodes of season 2, and in one night, I did 6 hours of Mando. I just was like, fuck it. I wanted to catch up and just watched it. Had some laundry to do. It was perfect. Kind of showed it to fold laundry too. It's perfect for that. I was surprised by season 2, particularly the first episode. Have you seen it, John? It's where there's the big snake, the big that goes in the sand. That one was awesome. That was a really fun episode.
It looks good.
It looks great. It's shot better than season 2 starts to look a lot better, but they start to do a little bit more with the characters and stuff. It has all the hallmarks though of like Dave Filoni, which is like really fan servicey stuff. He's the guy that did the Clone Wars animated show, and he's one of the co-showrunners along with Jon Favreau. It does a lot of fan servicey stuff, but it's like it kind of works, and it makes you realize that like Star Wars doesn't have any good new ideas, and it's got a limited palette. And the new movies told us as much, that there are no good new ideas. So dig up the old ones. Dig them up. It's actually good. That's the way it's going to be good.
They stretch out, like the fan service is stretched out in such a degree that you get a hint or a specter of something, and that is what's going to fuel you until that actually is confirmed or not. Like you're never getting a meal with this show. You're getting commercials with the show in between it.
Yeah. And what you talked about with how they tease things out and then confirm them, it's great because you do get the satisfying moments. Like even for I usually am like, I don't care that much, even though I know tons about the Star Wars lore. The one time where it actually got me, and I was like, it hits a lizard brain element when they go, it's a thing you like. Remember this? And it's like, oh, wow, it feels nice. Yeah. They get you. For me, it was that they had the Dark Troopers, which are these robotic Iron Man looking troopers. Those are actually from the Dark Forces PC game. The first one, which was like a Doom clone back in 1995. It was it was one of the boss types. So they're drawing from all over the canon. And the one thing that Filoni is doing well is that he's when they did the new Star Wars movies, they basically said all of the expanded universe content, all of the books, all of the comic books, games, PC games, had been decanonized because they wanted to wipe the slate clean and not be beholden. And to be fair, there were a lot of stupid storylines about like Han and Leia's family and their children and the Jedi Order, all this shit. But Dave Filoni, who's a big fan and was a big fan of all that, and I think was maybe part of some of that stuff because they did have, it was all Lucasfilm done back in the day, like all the EU stuff. There was like a team that still approved it. He's recanonizing elements that are like the good ones, the little bits. So like they mentioned Grand Admiral Thrawn, who's like this blue general who is like in some of the comics. Did you ever play Rogue Squadron? No. Or like there was Prince Shizor, like there were all these like characters that like I don't think he's been mentioned, but they're doing this thing where they're bringing up all these characters.
Look who you're talking to,
and they're recanonizing them. And it's good. It's better than what they were doing, which is trying to come up with new characters and failing at it. You know, I mean, if they figured out a way to do that, maybe it'd be Shizor. How do you pronounce that, Marty? I don't even know how that is phonetic. I love that. Yeah, I love that Marty knows. But what you mentioned, John, about how they're giving you that little rush. The one thing I do like that they're doing is they're recontextualizing a lot of these characters. Like huge spoiler alert, but it's been 2 episodes now. Boba Fett is alive, survived. Right. Yeah, which was something that had been talked about in the EU, that like when he fell into the Sarlacc pit in Return of the Jedi, he falls down into there. He survives because he has the Beskar armor, all that stuff, and he's fucked up, and he's like lives as a nomad on Tatooine. So it's not crazy they brought him back, but they recontextualize him as this some kind of like he's almost like a monk type character now, which is cool because he actually has a character. Before it was just a guy who had 3 lines in the movies. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that they're recontextualizing things. If you're going to bring somebody back, reframing it and making it interesting is not a bad way to do it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my association with Boba Fett has always just been, why is this guy so popular?
And it's a fair question.
I've seen both of these movies he's in. You know, he's at the end of Empire, and then he dies at the start of the next one.
Yeah,
and now he's back here with I should add, the actor who played. Is it the actor who played the father of young Boba Fett in Clone Wars?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Good.
Well, no, and not in Clone Wars, in also the original, in the Phantom, rather in Attack of the Clones and the I think he died. Yeah, in Attack of the Clones. It's not. It's Jango Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you watched 6 episodes of this thing. So that was 120 minutes. No, wait, 30
Oh
minutes
no,
apiece?
much longer because there were many of them were an hour. Like I watched solid 6 hours or so.
These are like 20-odd minute episodes.
No, many of them are 49, 59 minute. So I watched a number of episodes, like all back to back, caught up, and then watched this week's live. And Bill Burr is back this episode, and Bill Burr's great in the show, and they're exploring some a little bit more nuanced areas. It is the same thing that I bitch about with Marvel stuff, that like even when they get into nuance with these franchises, you can only go so far because it's Star Wars or Marvel. Like it's not, you don't have that deep of a well to draw from in terms of, moral complexity. But they try, and they're trying more than I've ever seen.
What's her face? Amy Sedaris, is she still around?
She's great.
She still have curly hair.
She's great. That perm. Yeah. She's funny.
Ragu. He's still there.
Grogu.
Yeah.
The child Grogu.
And it's coming to an end. This show, is it almost this time for the season finale?
We just had episode 7, so I think there's one more, and they were 8 episodes. I think last season was 8, unless they have a larger order this year. I don't know. They might have 10.
We're getting to the end of it, Sean. It's the end of the movie year, the end of all of our shows.
All of our shows. But we have all of these new shows. I mean, did you see the Disney earnings call? It's like it's a smorgasbord of content, John, all interlinked. Are you ready?
I don't know about that. I finished all of Saved by the Bell.
All of the entire run?
Let me give Peacock, the streaming service, my attention for a moment.
Yeah, okay. So how many seasons are there of Saved by the Bell?
Oh, no, I'm talking about the reboot, the new one. I watched
reboot.
Like 8. I watched 8 as well. I plowed through those. Those were good, making breakfast and having coffee on in the morning.
Right.
It's quippy. It's witty. It's like a 30 Rock episode that takes place at Bayside, basically.
Well, you mentioned they had a couple jokes that were like good jokes. They have real joke writers working on the show, I guess.
Yeah.
You said former 30 Rock writers?
Yeah, I guess so. And some new people who are brought up by the same crew. And it's just not at all the same show. It just takes place at Bayside. But it reminds me of that the Brady Bunch movie.
The Brady Bunch movie. I actually never saw that, but that was not a direct adaptation, right? It was like
I bought the poster for it actually this week. I bought a bunch of posters.
Ooh, okay. Let's see, John.
It's like, I love this poster.
All right, here we go. John's going to hold this up. They're back to save America from the 90s. Wow. The broken.
I love it because they're erupting from the earth.
That is one hell of a poster. The font too.
Yeah, it's also coming out in February. It has that thing where it says coming to theaters February or something.
Does it give a year or just February?
Theaters everywhere February. No, there's no year.
Okay, because they assume
in the 90s apparently. Let's assume it's in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm going to say 1997. That's my guess.
I also got this poster.
All right, let's see what's up next.
I think it's a Struzan.
Ooh, a Drew Struzan. Gremlins 2, the new batch. Here they grow again. Oh wow!
It's got the like torn couch, the burgundy couch chair, and Gizmo getting ashed on. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen any Gremlins movies actually. I would love to do a Gremlins watch and see the first 2 at least. Those are the ones that are worth watching.
Okay. Yeah, then you can rate which is cuter, Gizmo or Ragu.
I like that Grogu is Ragu. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I got a third poster.
Oh, here we go. Let's go full John. Yeah, I want to see it. All right, John, what do you got? Oh, my God. One of our favorite, talking about pretentious movies, one of the best pretentious movies of 2016, 2017?
I think it's a 16, yeah.
16 or 17, yeah. But we saw it like that. Yeah, we saw it when we did the old podcast, and it was new then. So I would say 2017 probably, or late 2016. But that episode available on
classic posters, wouldn't you say?
They are, and you can see the episode where we talk about Jackie on our Patreon, patreon.com/watchrewatch. We got the entire back catalog, original show, Lots of fun episodes there. An audio-only medium, too. You can listen to it while you do dishes. That's on there. I haven't seen Gremlins. I know Marty's so shocked. Yeah, I haven't, man. And I by no choice or anything. It's just one of those things that like I just never watched growing up.
If we were in a movie and this scene happened, we would hard cut, and we would be in the middle of one of these movies. And the getting to A, B, and C, like the me sitting you down and we're starting the movie and now we're still 40 minutes in. There's a whole movie in that operation there. I was watching that trash Love Actually because it was like on TV, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Have you seen Love Actually?
Love Actually? Yeah, a long time ago.
So Liam Neeson is a widower and he's taking care of his stepson who's now motherless, and they're both he's in love with the young girl who's going to chase in the airport, and they're trying to mend his broken heart. And Liam Neeson goes, "Let's put on Titanic," and it cuts to the scene of Jack and Rose on the Titanic, and she's like, "I'm flying," and I'm thinking, did they just watch the first hour and a half, and here we are? Like, anyway, I always find that funny. Cutting to they don't have YouTube in 2000 when this movie was made.
Yeah, is that just Jack Black in that one too? Is that the one with the big cast?
No, that's the is he?
That's the Holiday.
That's the Holiday.
That's another one. I confuse all of those movies. Those Christmas movies, they all have the same poster, which is a 4-quadrant poster with 4 faces usually, especially if it's one of those big casts.
Well, Love Actually, it is that, but there's a ribbon like it's a gift.
Yeah, but I thought the Holiday has that too. But I love that it is.
Unfortunately, it's just the 4 faces with like the Holiday in black font.
That's it. But
there's nothing Christmassy about it.
There isn't. Okay, but
I think Cameron Diaz has like a scarf.
Okay.
Or something.
There's some snow or something maybe in one of them.
Maybe.
Yeah, but the 4-quadrant. The internet. We can definitely look that up. But the 4-quadrant poster is one of my favorite. It's a Christmas trope for whatever reason, or
it's a romantic comedy trope.
Yeah, the 4-quadrant or the white frame Diane Keaton style poster. It's like it's posters for older women, and like I feel like it's or you know older folks of a certain age. You know, they do white soft tones, earth tones, and like and smiling people looking up. It's always like Jack Nicholson and her. I always I think of As Good as It Gets. You know, that poster. Can you draw that from memory? You must.
Perfect.
All right, that's John. Let's do a little John draws, and we'll check out some of these.
I might even be so good at it, I'll write down what every producer and who did the music and the cinematography and everything.
Okay, so we're gonna do As Good as It Gets. John draws. John can draw and most posters very accurately from memory, and I'm curious to see how well he can do this one. So I'm gonna pull it up here. Oh my God! All right, so John, we'll have to do a little timer on it. And how close are you there? Almost done?
Yeah, give me countdown to 5.
We need some John Draws music. That's true, we do. We have to get a little ditty. Oh, he's done. All right. So John, we're going to cut to the web. So first, well, actually, no, you're going to show us first. So let's see what you drew. Oh my God. There we go, and we got the thing, and we're going to go to the web, and hold on. This is an alt. I think this is the one you were doing.
That's the one, yeah, with
the DVD.
Verdell, the dog.
Yeah, there we go. Let's go.
I got the sunglasses up and everything.
You got the sunglasses up. Oh, my God, hold on. Wait, let's go here. Go. Show me again. You got this. Pretty close, man. Pretty goddamn close. Nicely done. I wish I had
more time. I would have done more with the hair. I feel like I didn't do well with the hair.
No, that's perfect. Well, John draws. We do so. We'll take suggestions. If anybody has some music that's copyright free, we can play. We're not playing the old music. We're playing our music on the show, but not nobody else's because Facebook mutes your music if it's somebody else's.
They
music.
do that. I always find it odd. Yes.
Yeah. So, Martin has a question.
I got more show and tell. I found some VHSs last week.
Ooh, we'll take a look, but bring up your drawing again. Martin has a question. What's the top? Yeah. What's in the top left squibble there? What's that line to draw?
Oh, that's just ADD lines.
Oh, this isn't part of the poster.
No.
You drew this before.
It's not the metaphor for anxiety hanging over him, or he has OCD in that movie.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what did you got some VHSs, you said? Some new VHSs?
Yeah, I did. So one of them is the boy version of the Queen's Gambit, searching for Bobby Fischer.
Canada? Why does it say Canada on it?
Well, that's just, it's a screening cassette being provided to you courtesy of Paramount Home Video, and it's to the distributor only. So it's like a boring VHS. It's just the movie for promotional use only. It'll probably explode after the movie's over.
Oh, that's amazing. Where did you get these? These are all like from the Salvation Army or
the Renaissance.
A Renaissance
on Du Collège in Montreal.
That's a pretty good one. So what else did you get?
Another Paramount picture, Crocodile Dundee.
Paul, that's in good shape too. That one, Crocodile Dundee.
He's bending over the two towers.
Oh my God, he is. So Crocodile Dundee did 9/11.
It's got the brown spine thing.
Oh yeah, was that a common thing then? I don't remember the brown spine.
Oh, no. But what's funny with this is that friend of the show, Antonio, he and I are going to watch this via Plex because I transferred this onto the Plex. So instead of us watching Blu-ray rip, we're going to watch the pan and scan version of this 1986 classic.
That's the way to do it. You got to watch the pan and scan versions. You got to see the art of the pan and scan, which you and I found out, which we'll have to link the video, but there's that great, we talk about it all the time, the Magnolia zoom to the widescreen and back in on the dolly shot. The best pan and scan thing I've ever seen. Truly amazing. So I noticed behind you, you have Cyberpunk 2077. Did you start playing it?
That's an Easter egg.
That's an Easter egg. So did you get it? I haven't gotten it yet.
I picked it up yesterday at the Best Buy. I picked up a
copy of it. Have you started playing? Did you create your character?
I did create my character. Yeah, I did. It took about an hour and a half to load, like to install.
Right.
With 2 discs and everything. And then it was like 2 a.m. when I got around to like, okay, I'm going to make a character. And there's that thing alone to make your character. You could be in there for hours.
Yeah, that's it. Well, everybody, it was all over the internet. You can make your own boob size or dick size.
Your own dick. Yes, you can. When you get down to the dick bit. Unfortunately, there's not that many dick options. It's either big, small, or vagina, or the Ken doll.
The Ken doll. Big, small, or vagina. Yeah, that's all the dick options, I guess.
There's a lot of like eye options, and it's a lot more RPG than I liked. There's a lot of like, take your conversation in this route. I'm like, when are we going to get to the cyber killing?
You don't like RPGs?
No. I like all games, let's say, but it's just that wasn't based on this poster. I didn't think I'd be talking to people for the most of it. Yeah. But no, it's got a really cool feel to it, and on the Series X, it's quite powerful. I put my face in front of its green fans, and my face got red. It's just so hot. It's making my Xbox super hot.
Yeah. It's a very demanding game. I actually have behind me a bunch of new pieces of computer stuff. Hold on.
I'm trying to look over your shoulder. Oh, whoa.
So we got a new processor, Ryzen 7. This is, anybody who's into PCs, this is a mid-range processor. I'm not going crazy with the Ryzen 9 5900X. This is a Ryzen 7 3700X. Great mid-range processor for gaming. And it's I'm all about, you know me, I'm all about the price-performance delta. There's a point where the price you pay and the performance you get, they become wildly unequal. So it's like you don't spend that much money. You don't have to spend that much money. Got some RAM. I got a power supply, motherboard. Shit. But the graphics
for Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's not all for Cyberpunk. Like I built my computer in 2015, and that's a long time in like computer gaming years.
Yeah.
So I ended up wanting to do the build. Cyberpunk was a great reason to do it. But the graphics cards, like everybody knows the PlayStation 5, if you want one, you can't buy it. Not available. Even the Xbox Series X, hard to get, if not impossible. Same thing for graphics cards. The NVIDIA 30 series, which is
digital-only consoles. Why aren't people wanting those? They're available.
Yeah, no, well, not for the PlayStation. Those you can't get. Okay. But the graphics cards, too, they have the new 3000 series cards. Impossible to get. I got one on Amazon. I'll believe it when I receive it, but I paid a little bit over MSRP. People are scalping it for double or more, but I was like, it was one of these Amazon sellers who was sort of scalping it, but like they just did it for like $150 more, and I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
At that point, it's that or wait 3 months, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I want to play games on my winter break, you know.
Yep.
And I won't play. I could run Cyberpunk on my computer now, but it won't run like well. And I'm like, it's not the point of it, you know.
Before we started the show, I gave Keith an Xbox profile, and last I left him, he was adjusting his penis size.
There you go. Well, let's see. Maybe he's going to be into the story. I feel like Keith will appreciate that game maybe more than you will.
There's like 3 stories. You can start off like a bum. You can start off like a
corporate
bum.
Yeah,
corporate. I started the corporate.
Yeah, gotta go corporate. Keith is for sure going to go. Keith's going to go street, right? For sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he went street.
The punk, yeah, not the. He's not going to go corporate. He's going to fucking
corporate. I was like, I want to see the city. I want to be in the high rise. I want to be on the top floor looking down.
Yeah,
I want to see these graphics, and I want to drive that Xbox to brink of explosion.
Yeah, you got it, man. I'm really excited to play it. There's been some like performance issues, but it's day one. It's a huge new game. There's a couple of big patches. Now that people are like able to play it, people seem to really be liking it. It's just nice to have a new big game in the middle of all this. Like, you know,
hell of a poster.
The yellow,
the mustard yellow there.
Yeah.
And when you open it, it comes with all this like bullshit. It comes with a map, stickers, 2 instruction booklets because we're in Quebec.
Yeah.
What's another thing they give you? Did I say postcards?
Well, that's the nice thing about buying it on console, and you didn't get the digital download, is you get all the physical stuff. You don't get that when you buy it on
download too.
Well, yeah, it's included, but you don't get that when you buy it on Steam. You don't get any of the fun. I like getting the maps. You can put the map up on the wall or something. You know.
No, I'm gonna keep it in the box.
Everything mint, everything pristine.
No, the stickers I gave Keith so he can put them on his bike helmet. Okay. But I just thought better to have it because the Series X doesn't have that much space. I think it has like a terabyte, but it's like this game is like the granddaddy of taking up space, so it's better to have this than being 100% on the console.
Oh, does it not load entirely in? It uses the disc for some of it?
I'm sure. It needs the disc to run the game.
Okay, yeah, right.
So I figure saving some years on my Xbox by not shoving all that shit on it.
Immediately 200 gigs onto the drive.
Yeah.
Just slamming it.
So yeah, it's been a hell of a week for watching and rewatching. I finished The Legend of Korra, Sean. This has started since April with this Airbender nonsense, and now we finished Korra.
Your exhaustion sounds like, has it been kind of an eat your vegetables run on Legend of Korra, or?
Yeah, especially. It doesn't sound very fun, and like some of the bad guys, some of the names are like, some of the things are like the big harmonic convergence, and the spirit portals have been opening, and
we're done with the spoilers, Antonio. He was asking. We're done with the Mando spoilers.
Kojira was the bad guy, and just okay, that's enough. It's over. They were metal bending, and then they were lava bending, and then there's platinum bending. I was like, holy shit.
Oh my God. These are all, they're iron workers. They're smiths. It seems like your reticence to really embrace science fiction you seem allergic to lore. And you know what? I feel you on that because I don't love lore either. Yeah. Well, not even world building. Yeah. I guess it is, but lore in the sci-fi sense, where it's like it's just all this fucking bullshit they use to fill out the world instead of having actual like plots or characters or real conflict.
I realized I love plot.
Yeah,
I like plot guy. Characters are disappointing. I find this lesbian Christmas movie I just watched, it fucked up the third act complicator, to borrow a thing from Mank. He's like, but that'll infect the third act complicator. Anyway, in this movie, it was so obvious that she was a lesbian. Like, she's always being caught mid makeout or mid affection by people being like, oh, what's going on? And everyone is oblivious. It's 2020 and you can't tell 2 lesbians. Anyway, so at the end of the movie, she gets blackmailed into being, or what happens? I'm going to tell on you if you tell on me. No one knew she was a lesbian. Didn't believe that for a second.
Yeah. So What was the point of that? Characters? I lost the
character.
thread.
That movie.
Character.
Yeah,
How
the plot
characters?
Of it was like, the lesbian movie.
Antonio is saying GPUs are all the rage thanks to people mining for Bitcoin. I hate to correct you, Antonio, but people don't really mine for Bitcoin anymore because it's not profitable. But people do mine for cryptocurrency, and using NiceHash or some of the other crypto mining software, you can make money just mining for all sorts of different types of crypto. And it can essentially just like pay for the electricity. And if your cost is low enough, you can make some money. Not a ton, but like over time, you can make money. So if you're looking to do it, don't buy a fucking 30 series GPU. Leave some for us who are trying to build gaming computers. Okay? Thanks. It's actually, I think, just largely scalpers. All of the things that have happened with just the PlayStation 5 as well. It's bots. Bots are buying up all this stuff, and they don't have like bot protection on a lot of these websites. I don't think they care because they sell them anyway. So they just sell out, and they just keep selling out. But nobody who actually wants them gets them. They all just go on eBay for double MSRP, and people buy them. I mean, I paid a little over MSRP, but that's because I can do what I want, and I'm exempt from the rules.
Would you pay $250 more for a PS5?
No, my line, like $150 was like the hard limit more than MSRP that I was willing to pay. $150, I was like, I don't want to do this, but also like I don't have the patience to sit there and wait. But had it been like $175, I probably would have been like, no way. $200 more, no.
You can't.
Everybody has their line. That. No, well, it's just like, I'm not going to do that. Go fuck yourself. But $150, that's like barely sales tax. It's fine. Yeah, I'm good with
paying
that.
Someone for their hard work, for actually succeeding in getting it.
Well, I mean, I'm buying it just from some company, but it's some company that's probably buying it, with bots and selling it on Amazon, which is probably, half of the things you can get. Because they all, when you can't get an item on Amazon, it ends up being like $2,000, even if it's just like it's like this mouse goes out of stock on Amazon and it's $400. People buy it, though. People with enough money and not enough patience, they'll just buy it. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to get in on that.
Start hoarding.
We could do it for VHSs, although I don't, start selling all of those. Buy them for whatever you get them for, $1, $2. Sell them for $5.
Well, they do that on the Etsy. You'd be surprised.
Oh, do they?
I bet if you look up this Crocodile Dundee on the Etsy, it's like $17. It's in pretty good condition, too.
Yeah. Is there a market for VHS?
I don't know. Certain VHSs. Like, I paid $15 for that Clerks because I wanted the pan and scan. Like, I have my reasons for spending $15 on a VHS. Yeah. But,
I mean, look, people spend all sorts of money on stupid things. $15 for a VHS, who cares? You do you, John. You live your life. Buy the things you like.
I spend my money where it counts, like YouTube Premium and Patreon.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, patreon.com/watchrewatch. Come on over, check out the back catalog, join us for Watch Rewatch After Dark. It's there, all for you, all for the low price of $5. Can you imagine that? $5? It's $5. It's a lot of content for $5. Come on over, say hello, and we'll make a special episode for the first subscriber. First one to come over, we'll do a special episode. You can be the guest on patreon.com/watch.
You can listen to yourself as much as you want.
Yeah, exactly. If you like the sound of your own voice, come on the show, man. Come on the show. Antonio with a solid pun. More of a data fan than a lore fan. Hey-oh. That's a
Star Trek joke?
That's a Star Trek The Next Generation joke.
Okay.
Yeah, not even a modern Star Trek joke.
This Star Trek is still going strong after how many light years?
People are enjoying the new season. I, again, fell off. Although I'm meaning to catch up. I fell off on season 2. And I need to binge and catch up to season 3, which I'll probably do over the holidays, I think. There's a lot of shows that like I'm revisiting because there's been no content. So now I'm more open to watching stuff because I'm desperate. Yep. Give me the content.
How about those Mike Lee movies? Speaking of pretentious.
Oh my God. No, yeah, speaking of which, yes, I do need to watch. I forgot. I put those, they're in a drawer somewhere now. I have to. They're on my table. Now they're in a drawer.
Oh, that's great. I wonder what, because like homework movies. Yeah. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Just, sorry. I just find it so funny because, yeah, they are,
they're there,
movies.
and they're there, and they exist. Yeah. And there's something about when I have a thing that I'm gonna have to watch. Although lately I've been watching more, so I feel like I'll probably catch up to those too. But there's sometimes I watched
this last Air Dog. What's the Ghost Dog? Did I tell you about this Ghost Dog? You heard of this Ghost Dog movie?
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've always wanted to see it. Ghost Dog. It's with Forrest Whitaker. It's a Jim Jarmusch movie. Right?
It's a Jim Jarmusch movie.
Yeah. I've never seen it.
I picked up the Criterion. It's like Keith's favorite movie.
Yeah, don't spoil it for me. But what are your impressions? Did you like it or you didn't?
I did like it, but it's exactly how you feel right now with those Criterions. I was just like, ugh, all right, we're gonna watch it, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I would watch it again if you wanted to. But
I think I will. But the lead up to watching a movie that you know you need to watch, it's hard,
especially a Criterion, because that is pretentious.
That is your homework. That is real homework. That's homework that you're gonna get graded on and not do well on. That's Criterion for me. It's like I'm not gonna fully get it. I'm too stupid to fully understand it all. Yeah,
they're a good bunch. They know how to rescue their movies and save them from obscura. Like you'll never get a Adam Sandler. Oh no, that's not true.
Punch Drunk Love, right?
Yeah, forget it.
That's it. It's over, John. You blew it.
So your holidays are coming up.
Holidays are coming up. Got a little break from work. I'm currently working in the pandemic, like many of us are, making movies in a pandemic. But we get COVID tested 3 times a week. It's a weird experience to make a movie in COVID times. Shooting people kissing.
Big crew.
Huge crew. We all have zones and everything, and the studios are doing quite a good job. But there is you can't help but shake a kind of guilty feeling when you're like first responders don't get tested as much as we do. But that's only because the corporate machine behind Hollywood, the insurance companies won't let it fly if we don't get tested. So I'm grateful, but it's also like it tells you it kind of illustrates how fucked everything is, that other people, people who work, at the grocery store, the company won't pay for any kind of testing for them. It's like, it's ridiculous. And
not movie related, but if I get COVID from the grocery store, what the hell happens?
Nothing. You have COVID, and
they're not going to shut that fucking place down. They're not going to tell that lady to go get tested, or that person.
They'll contact trace. They should, but and yes, Antonio, I do want in. I'll do the Crocodile Dundee rewatch for sure.
Right, Antonio and I are going to watch that. Yes.
Yeah, he just invited me. So you know what? Sure, 3's a crowd. Let's all do it. Let's all watch this film. I think it'll be. I'd love to watch this Pan and Scan too. So I think that'd be fun. I've never seen the movie, and I like that my first experience will be that way.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it either. So
you haven't? Okay.
No, I've not seen it. This is why it's going to be a watch.
It's his rewatch.
It's not only is it his rewatch, it's the rewatch for him, because according to Antonio, this is his movie. We all have that one random movie for no reason to find our childhood. And
this is the one for him.
Like somewhere, Mike Nichols' Primary Colors, starring John Travolta, is some little girl's favorite movie.
Oh my God. Wow.
That's just a random example.
Well, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. I like that. As an idea.
During the break.
Yeah, a little rewatch, Crocodile Dundee edition. Thank you for watching and rewatching this week with us, folks. Thanks for tuning in live. Thank you to anybody who's watching this not live after the fact, which I actually do know that some people.
It was as good as it gets.
It was as good as it gets. That you can't beat that. Thanks to John, thanks to me, thanks to you, thanks to everybody for being here. For this week, I'm Sean.
I'm John.
And that's
006.
JJF006, Sean Swee. And this has been Watch Rewatch. Bye-bye.
And watch you later.